Hi everyone, welcome. My name is Ken Lima-Coelho and I'm the CEO at Big Brothers Big Sisters of Calgary and Area. I'm excited. Of course, we always start with an acknowledgement of our land. That's a very important thing that we do at Big Brothers Big Sisters because we know we're a part of this community, and this community goes back, generations here on the land. So, in the spirit and respect of reciprocity and truth, Big Brothers Big Sisters of Calgary and Area honors the traditional territories and oral practices of the Blackfoot Nations of Siksika, Piikani, and Kainai, the Stoney Nakoda First Nations of Chiniki, Bearspaw, and Wesley, and the Tsuut'ina First Nation. We also honor the historic Northwest Métis, and that includes Métis Nation Region 3 and all the people who make their homes here in Treaty 7 in Southern Alberta. Of course, we are all treaty people. Welcome, thank you for coming. Thank you to members of the media for coming and for those that will watch this online. Today I'm here to announce that a good friend of Calgary and a very good friend of Big Brothers Big Sisters of Calgary and Area is announcing that he is running again. Jeromy Farkas is running again. How do we feel about that? But this time, it's in support of Big Brothers Big Sister. Big Brothers Big Sisters of Calgary and Area, of course, is really thrilled to partner with former mayoral candidate and city councillor Jeromy Farkas on what we're calling Jeremy's Big Run for Big Brothers Big Sisters. Now, the Big Run is around across the Pacific Crest Trail. I'm not going to tell you too much about it because I know Jeremy's going to share something, but he has set a very ambitious goal with this grueling, extraordinary run to raise $50,000 through pledges and all funds being donated to Big Brothers Big Sisters of Calgary and Area, the charity that supports mentorship in our community. And I cannot even believe I'm saying this. In less than 12 hours, he sent an email out sort of in the middle of the night. In less than 12 hours, the campaign has already raised over $10,000. Not bad, what a start. Now, fundraisers like this, of course, make a huge difference in the impact that Big Brothers Big Sisters can have. And let me tell you a little bit more about that impact if you don't know. The children and youth that we support and work with are the ultimate beneficiaries of this kind of support. Our programs have developmental impact and empower youth to realize their full potential. So what does that mean? Well, our focus is to create and nurture relationships, developmental relationships, one-on-one with young people. Volunteers connecting with young people that are facing some adversity that need that support. And in Calgary, we call them matches, and there's kind of 5 attributes. Our mentors express care, they challenge the growth of the young person and the individual, they provide support in various different ways, and that could be a fun activity in the park or helping with homework or a meaningful walk to have a discussion about something that matters. They share power. I really like that attribute because in some ways, some of these young people have really challenges in their lives, and sometimes the power is put upon them by systems or society or just general challenges in their life. Well, we share that power and we give them a role in their own success. And then, of course, it all leads to the best part, which is expanding their possibilities. And we're honored to do this work. So we're sincerely grateful that Jeromy is providing this support, and honored and thrilled he chose us. There are 26,000 charities in our province, and he chose us. And we really, really believe that's powerful, especially as he comes from a background where many Calgarians know who he is, and many Calgarians wondered what he might do next, whether it was in politics or in civic life. We knew he'd be back, but boy, are we excited that he's back in this way. So to tell you about the amazing journey he's about to embark on, and one maybe even more difficult than municipal politics, who knows, and why he's chosen us, Big Brothers Big Sisters of Calgary and Area, as a partner, I give you Jeromy Farkas.
Ken, thank you so much for the kind introduction, and I know that this might throw some people for a loop, but hopefully in a positive way. I'm really excited as well that this is probably going to make running for mayor probably the second craziest thing I've ever done in my life. When you think about running at least 100 days on the trail, upwards of 4,300 kilometers, that's about a marathon every single day. And from going from the Mexico desert up to the Washington forest, it's basically the equivalent of climbing Mount Everest more than 17 times from sea level. So I'm definitely prepared, but I'm feeling confident because of the incredible support of mentors in my life. And I think about my own experience growing up in East Calgary and Dover, being the beneficiary of mentorship programs like those that Big Brothers and Big Sisters offer. I knew that this was the right fit. And following the election, a lot of people reached out to me. They said that the next time that you run for something, I'll be the first to write you a check. So that really lit a light bulb in my mind where, you don't necessarily have to run for politics. You can run for an incredible charity like Big Brothers Big Sisters that makes such an incredible impact here at home. So the more that I thought about it, the more that it became a reality. And for me, my own background as a certified wilderness first responder, an avid outdoor enthusiast, I thought that, this is maybe not so crazy at all. And thank you to our incredible supporters and donors who have already got us to that $10,000 mark of the $50,000 target. Just very grateful for that. And in terms, for me, why I'm doing this, they say that out on the trail and for projects like this, your why is the most important thing. And for me, I wanted to find a way to be able to honor my late grandmother, Elizabeth Ptycia. She was a school teacher in East Calgary and Dover for many, many decades, and as an avid mentor, especially to youth, she felt very, very strongly about causes like this. So I thought about ways that I can honor her and remember her, given her passing happened during COVID when we couldn't really get together, we couldn't have the opportunity to remember somebody who made such an incredible impact. But it's really my privilege to be able to use some of that cachet, that notoriety, that fame in a positive way. So often you hear from politicians who, after the election, translate that into some lucrative lobbyist job or some other way to be able to translate that to their personal benefit. But I knew for me that I needed to find the right fit to be able to continue to make the best impact possible. And very, very privileged to be able to partner with Ken, the whole team here at Big Brothers and Big Sisters. I know that they punch above their weight. They have tremendous impact in the community, and I could not be more proud or thrilled or privileged to be able to support incredible mentorship charities such as theirs. So without further ado, maybe Ken, you and I could be available to answer any questions, but otherwise just excited to be here. I leave for Palm Springs on Tuesday. A good friend of mine is going to drive me out into the middle of the desert, going to leave me with a couple liters of water, some food, and I'm going to take the long way home. And every step of the way, I'm going to be cataloging that journey, continuing to raise funds for Big Brothers and Big Sisters, and I am very, very confident that we're going to be able to smash through that $50,000 fundraising target and to be able to continue to expand on the incredible impact that this organization makes. So again, thank you, media, and for everybody for attending. We're happy to answer your questions.
All right, any questions about the journey? Go ahead.
Yeah, I think the first one I would have, this is basically running a marathon every single day. How do you plan on actually keeping up to that?
Well, after the election, it's basically a year of marathons. So they say that politics is a marathon and not a sprint. I guess I took that literally. And as my good friend Marinenci said, after many years, he was telling me to take a hike, and I figured that I was gonna this time take it literally. So I couldn't be more thrilled to get out there. It's probably the toughest thing that I've ever done. It's going to be grueling. It's going to be physically demanding. It's going to be mentally demanding. But given the incredible support network, friends, family, campaign supporters, donors, I know that the passion is there, the why has been answered, and I could not be more thrilled to be getting started. So I'm definitely up for the task, and I think it's going to be very ambitious to set the goal that I have to be able to achieve that $50,000, but could not be more thrilled to see the incredible benefit that it's going to serve here at home in the community while I'm out on the trail.
Just in all seriousness though, how do you prepare something like this? How's the last few months look like? Have you been running a marathon every day?
Well, it's tough to prepare. Maybe we can do we could do a run through my backpack, but I'm going to be living outside of this backpack for several months. Inside here has change of clothes, it has the food, the water, the tent, the shelter. I'm going to be out on the trail probably, I'd say 30 to 60 kilometers a day, every day. I'm going to go into small towns every once in a while to be able to resupply. It's a pretty big logistical challenge. But when you think about running a campaign and getting lawn signs delivered and stuff like that, there's some overlap, right? You start to think about, okay, who needs to be where to be able to help? But for me, it'll be unlike anything that I've ever done. I'll be solo, unsupported. I'll have the help that I can get from the grocery store in terms of the food that I buy. But It's unlike anything that I've ever done, but I feel like I'm up to the task. I have quite a bit of backcountry experience, probably summiting more than 400 mountain peaks over the last 5 years here in the Rocky Mountains. I am a certified wilderness first responder, compete regularly in the Ironman Calgary triathlon here every year. There's a lot about me that I think the public doesn't know or didn't get to know through the campaign and the focus on policy and politics. And I'm so thrilled to be able to lean on that and to really delve deep in terms of some of my expertise and more about me as a person to be able to continue this campaign, start this new run to the incredible benefits of an organization like Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Calgary.
One of the things that came about when you sort of stealth announced this on Twitter was people were talking about you running for office again. Do you think people are going to be surprised by the fact that when you mean running, you're literally meaning running?
Well, I'm literally running, which has surprised a lot of people. And I think the response has been incredible. I think we've had over $10,000 of the $50,000 target, not just from past campaign supporters, but from a lot of people who didn't support my political run. So I think that with this, of course, it's a play on politics, but this isn't about politics. It's about the kids that we're here to serve. It's about allowing every Calgarian child to be able to fulfill their potential completely as Calgarians and as Canadians. I could not be more thrilled to be able to translate some of that fame, that notoriety into such an incredible cause. And, I wouldn't close the door to maybe running for office at some point in my future, but I have quite a few mountains to climb before then, probably the equivalent of at least 17 Mount Everest. So you might have to ask me that question after I get back, after a long break.
There are a lot of ways to fundraise. Why choose running in something like this that's so daunting? What was it that about this specific trail, about this specific way of fundraising that appealed to you?
Well, I knew it was a great fit with Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Calgary because every single dollar that we can raise in their support, they can leverage that out 10, 20, 25 times. I knew that we could immediately translate that goodwill and that support to improved outcomes for Calgarian children. So I knew that that was the right partner. And as far as why I run, it's a funny play to be running for office. There are many people that told me when I start my next campaign, when I run again, they'll be the first to write me a check. And that lit a light bulb in my mind where I said, how could I translate that again to the benefit of a great local organization? And for me, running something that I'm not going to say I'm good at, but I've done a lot of it. It's something that I'm skilled and experienced at. I'm not just somebody who has this crazy idea and is going out completely unprepared. It is still a pretty crazy idea to be thinking about 100 days of a marathon every day. But I really wanted to challenge myself. I thought about the incredible connections that I made following the municipal election, and I wanted to again translate that to community benefit. And for me, I've always thought about how I can make the most impact. And when you think about the benefit of community, all sorts of charitable causes, everything else, you don't necessarily have to be the politician. You don't necessarily have to be the name on the ballot to be able to make that positive impact. And what we've seen is that in just a few short hours since we launched the campaign, we're significantly further along to our fundraising target. So my hope is that we'll be able to achieve that $50,000 target before I leave Tuesday to the Mexican desert and I start my journey.
Question for you, Ken. The $50,000, is there any particular programs that this particular set of money is going towards at the organization here?
Yeah, great question. We're not going to necessarily, one of the things that sometimes nonprofits will do is when they have a partnership like this, they'll create something new or they'll create something special. Not a problem, but we know the work that we do, the core work we do, one-on-one mentorship is valuable and it's road tested. We've been running this race as a charity for 40 years in this community. And so it'll be targeted to our core program. So developmental relationships, one-on-one. We do it in schools. We're out in the community. We've got also some interesting programs where we're teaming up different generations. We have a program called Between Generations, where older people, I was going to say seniors, but I'm almost that age. So older folks team up with younger kids and connect. And through the pandemic, we've had to pivot a little bit and make some things happen. We started a pen pal program. Remember pen pals? We've got a program in that regard. We know that the core of programs that we've got right now are successful and they need support, so that's where the funds will go.
And if people want to follow along on either Jeremy's journey or the fundraising goals here, where can they do that?
Absolutely. Thank you for asking. If you want to follow along, BBBScalgary.ca is our website. We've got a page dedicated to Jeremy's run. We'll be populating our social media channels, as I know you will be, with different aspects of the run, little check-ins here and there. We're going to do a Facebook Live to send you off in a few days at the airport. And also, it's around that fundraising goal. Jeremy keeps talking about 50,000. I don't know. I think we could get it higher than that. What do you think?
Yeah,
he's feeling good. So, but yeah, there's lots of storytelling. There will be a special video that announces one of his, let's just say, political friends has also endorsed this campaign, and we'll be releasing that in the coming days as well. So lots of energy, and there's some fun stuff along the way around the trail that we'll get to learn about. And when Jeremy comes back, I think I've already booked you for this, but I'll do it right here. We're going to connect him to some of our community. You know, some mentors. What a great match event for mentors and mentees to come and meet Jeremy, look through that amazing backpack, learn about what he was up to, and set their sights on a goal. I don't think it's all that far-fetched that a lot of the young people we serve have ambitious goals. Here's a living manifestation of somebody doing something for good, and that's a great lesson for our matches and mentors and kids to learn as well.
Great. Thank you.
All right. And before we end off, we're gonna have some celebration. There's a few snacks. I don't know if you can eat any of those snacks,
That's
because,
all good.
but so we got you some granola bars.
Excellent.
Yeah. So you can take those in your backpack. It's all about the weight. And because even this T-shirt's probably too heavy, I'm gonna give you a tiny little Big Brothers Big Sisters pin, or you can stick to yourself there. It weighs about 1.7 ounces, so I think we'll be okay.
That's cool.
Thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for supporting Jeremy's big run for Big Brothers Big Sisters of Calgary and Area. We wish you safety, we wish you success, and we wish that I could be going, because I've got the shoes, baby, look at those! We'll let you do it. Thanks, everyone.